I guess I kind of see it as the difference between like problem solving and process improvement, if you will.
Sure.
Problem solving is, oh, in this instance, something just happened. Let me figure out how to resolve that. So that's, you know, oh, I can't sleep tonight. I'm so exhausted. I need to take some melatonin just to resolve this. Or,
Sure.
oh, I'm not feeling well today. I feel sick. I need to stay home from this event so that I can,
Yeah.
whatever. Versus process improvement is like looking at over the long haul, like where are there inefficiencies in how you're, I mean, generally this we're talking about the context of manufacturing. How are there inefficiencies in your manufacturing process
Yeah.
where you can make improvements? But in your life, like where in your life, where are there inefficiencies in how you're living your life or in things that you're having to deal with? Where are you wasting time, wasting effort, wasting quality of life because you're having to run into these little things all the time? Where
Hmm.
can you make like systemic improvements to that to
Yeah.
improve the overall process that
Yeah.
you're running through your manufacturing line, if you will?
Well, and the other thing is you can problem solve or go through process improvement for something that is not necessarily an issue right now, right? So, for instance, let's say you're able to chop up food for dinner, okay? And you're able to get this meal made. Well, the meal is made, and maybe you even have enough time to make that meal, okay? So, where's the problem here? And it's like, there's not necessarily an issue with this, but there are things that we can do to make this more efficient. So this particular example I got from a YouTube channel called Think Before You Sleep. I think it's a great point and kind of slots in here. But he was talking about making meals and how much longer it takes if you don't know how to properly cut things, if you don't have good experience with prep work, with chopping, with knife skills, versus if you do. So in that example where you have more than enough time to create and make dinner and you can chop everything up totally fine, you still may want to sit down and understand how to better chop things, how to better cut things so that things can go faster. And then what happens oftentimes in things where your process improving, where there wasn't a fault, is that there's some positive. So at the end of that, you have additional time and you can get a positive feedback loop. With that additional time, you can do further process improvement to exponentially increase your time over,
Yeah.
over a number of
Yeah.
things that you're
I
improving.
mean, the key difference, at least how I've kind of learned about it at work, is like problem solving is triggered by, for example, if you're looking at if you're looking at manufacturing yield data or output, problem solving is triggered by we've seen a radical drop in, you know, in yield this day or this time. Like we see a signal, what a
Yeah.
distinct signal that indicates something has gone wrong starting here. That triggers the problem solving process. Process improvement is different. It's not triggered by one specific signal one time that's gone wrong. It's you look at the overall process and you have to think more like rather than reacting to a negative thing, you have to think about being proactive about a potential positive thing or a way you can improve. And it's a very different way that you think about things.
Yeah. So I guess so you seem to be asserting that the problem solving is the, let's say, negative side of risk with with things, and process improvement is the positive side. I kind of see this as a 2 by 2 table where at the top, column A is positive, column B is negative. So positive risk is where there's not necessarily something going wrong, but we could make things better. And negative is there's something going wrong and we need to try and make it better. And then on the side, you have something that is a one time resolution in row one. And in row two, you have something that is a systematic thing. So you can have positive risks that are one time or systematic, and you can have negative risks that are one time or systematic. And I see,
Sure. So it's clean the stove versus figure out how to not make it get so dirty.
Yeah. Yes, but so cleaning the stove is one time negative because it's dirty. That's a problem. Right?
Right.
And the other is systematic positive. But there are also systematic negatives where we are consistent. For the past year and a half, we've had poor yields on this product. That's a systematic negative versus a one-time negative is this product came back from a customer and had a fault.
This lot had
Yes.
significant issues.
Yes, but we've
just on
not
this
seen
one lot,
but we've not seen that issue crop up on a regular basis, whether that be monthly, weekly, daily, whatever.
Sure. Okay, so your table, you're saying you have positive and negative risk, basically, in your columns. And your rows are maybe single instant issues.
Yeah.
Or an instantaneous occurrence or a one-time type of occurrence.
Versus systematic.
Versus systematic issues.
Or recurring.
So what's systematic positive? That's like the best thing, right?
Yeah, so systematic positive would be, in the example of my parents, you could say if their backs weren't hurting and they were getting just enough sleep, there's still room for improvement. They could be getting better sleep even though what they're doing right now is sufficient.
I see what you're saying. So systematic negative is like we're systematically seeing a negative thing. Like I'm regularly
Like the back's
not getting
hurting.
enough sleep.
Back's hurting.
Versus something that's systematically going fine, but then positively asking yourself, and the positive side, I guess the way I see it, positive is more proactive versus negative is reactive. You're reacting to a negative signal.
Yes, exactly.
Versus systematic positive is like, okay, this thing, where can I proactively try to make efficiencies and improve on it, rather than merely responding to a negative signal I've received. And then obviously the single instance row is, okay, in one single occurrence of something has come up, how can I proactively make this a positive thing?
Exactly. And
So,
I think that
versus one single negative thing has come up, one issue, I need to resolve this one issue right here, but it's not necessarily a systematic issue.
Yeah. So what I would say is too often people do not focus on the systematic positives, and oftentimes that's where the most potential lies. Like things that people and you could even say, for argument's sake, that in the case of my parents with their backs hurting, they've now just accepted this as something normal. Right? You can kind of reparameterize certain things where it
depends on your perspective of what is a negative versus what is normal, but
exactly. So what I'm saying is they may now have shifted, they may have had a paradigm shift to where they think that just having their backs hurting is the default. And as such, you could parameterize it as a positive risk, a positive systematic risk of resolving this is present. So a one-time positive risk is something's on sale. If I capitalize on it now, I can save money, and I would have purchased the thing anyway. Maybe I'm buying it a week early, but it's on toilet paper's on sale. I'm going to need toilet paper in a week. I may as well buy it now.
Sure.
It's the toilet paper I would have purchased anyway, and I can save $2.
I mean, the caveat there is you were already going to be buying it, not you're just making an impulsive purchase.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Exactly.
Versus the negative is, shoot, we're out of toilet paper right now.
We need to resolve that now.
And it's March 2020. There's no toilet paper.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.